All right, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a quick little walkthrough to begin our investigation. We don't have any equipment with us. We just have the camcorder and ourselves, and we're just going to kind of brainstorm a game plan for how we're going to approach this investigation. Chris, watch your feet.
In other words, we're winging it.
Pretty much, like we always do. And we're also going to let spirits know, why we're here, what we're doing, and if anything happens, then that's just gravy.
Oh, as we're doing the walkthrough at the end of it, can I show them the secret of the door?
Yes. The secret of the door. This first room, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's an artifacts room. It's very dark. Let me turn on a light. Let there be light. So they call this the artifacts room because there's artifacts. This is an actual uniform that was worn by one of the soldiers here, which is really cool. It's a complete uniform, which you don't see that too often. You usually see just a few of the items, but this seems to be almost an entire kit. And of course, a lot of this stuff, since it actually saw combat, there might be a lot of residual energy coming off of it. Not just of that, but also these cool looking swords. Everything in here can contain energy, either intelligent energy or residual energy, and that's kind of what we're trying to tap into tonight. Even if we don't get residual experiences, intelligent experiences, we can get the residual. But something real quick before I leave this room, this is an actual tombstone for a soldier. We can actually zoom in. You can pause the video and read that a little bit, but Chris, do you think something like this would carry residual energy?
Anything's possible to carry residual energy. Anything from a bottle cap to a tombstone to, you just never know.
Yeah.
And let's take this opportunity too to thank the curators of the Miller Kite House. We definitely appreciate the opportunity to be here.
And the tour they gave us earlier, just explaining everything. And of course, this is the cool little foyer stairwell. They've got it decorated for Christmas, which I like. We've never investigated a location with Christmas decorations.
No, we've never.
It's kind of a first for us. It's kind of festive because see, they've got the Christmas tree. I'm going to be up front with you all right now. I do not remember what most of these rooms are called. I'm sorry for that. But basically, almost every room in here has some form of activity. And what we're trying to do is, in addition to trying to form a game plan, we're also trying to get a vibe of the place. Does it feel active right now? Does it feel quiet? Is there anything that we say or do that seems to kick off the spiritual activity? That's kind of the mental notes that we're making. And Chris, as we're completing the circle we started, what do you think is the most important part of the pre-investigation process?
Well, I kind of think you hit the nail on the head when you were saying, just pick up on the vibe of the place. What are you feeling? How do you feel about the environment, the surroundings? And earlier, as we were walking around, we were making notes of where's the electrical wires for the cases?
Right.
What does the heating system sound like when it kicks on? There's one I will show you real quick, and you got to notice stuff like this. Listen, where's the places in the floor that's going to make the noise? Earlier, when I was doing my solitary walkthrough, I thought I heard something upstairs, but it was just one floorboard. When you walk on it just right, it makes a moaning sound.
Which could have been what I heard, because when Chris was outside in the car and I was going through taking pictures after the people had left, I heard a female voice up here, and that could have been a floorboard. But as you can see, we're now heading upstairs. This area is a bit more active, they told us, than the downstairs is. We're going to go into this room first. This room has more to do with the Kite family than it does the Civil War history, but it's cool because, every room in this house pretty much has artifacts. So that every room is charged with residual activity, or what we hope is charged with residual activity. And even though I've been to this room 3 times, I did not notice the creepy dolls. I did not.
How could you not?
Well, I probably just blocked them from memory or from view. That just doesn't look right. It just does not look right.
And like I said, in this house, they have a ton of items that's been donated by the public and people from around town, different families.
Well, they've kind of collected the history of Elkton and put it in this house. There's a lot of buildings that have been tore down, and then, like I said, a lot of buildings have been tore down. They took the remnants of some of those buildings and also the photographs of the buildings, basically the memory of these places, and put them in that back room. But this room is really important because this is allegedly where Stonewall Jackson slept while he was planning the 1862 Valley Campaign. This is the bed, the actual bed that they said he slept on.
They said it might be.
That's why I said alleged.
Yeah, well.
I thought I heard something, but then I realized it's where we leaned on the bed and it settled the floor.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But I have to say, other than this room, this is the coolest one in the entire house for me.
There's just so much to look at in here.
Yes. How long do we spend in here just looking at everything?
Oh, a good hour.
Yeah. But this is, kind of like what I was telling you, the history of Elkton. They've got these little presentations of the former buildings, basically telling the story of the town, and they're keeping the memory of these places alive. And while they might not be there physically, they're still here in memory. And it's really cool when people do that.
Here's another fine example with this case here. Any movement in this room, and that case shakes.
Right. And then this is the stairwell that leads to the downstairs room across from our base camp. That's where this goes. Unfortunately, it's blocked off. We can't get to it. Let's see, there's some more stuff. Some of the common claims to this place upstairs mainly is people we hear footsteps, voices. From what they were telling us, this house has a lot of EVP type activity, a lot of spirit voices. Kind of reminds me of the Exchange Hotel when we investigated it. We had, what would you say, triple the EVPs, and we did spirit box responses.
Oh, probably.
Which is pretty interesting because, spirit box, it's tuning into the white noise. You're also tuning into the radio station. So you expect to get a lot of spirit box. Even if it's just clutter, you get a lot of activity. So to have more EVPs than spirit box, that's pretty cool. And if this house has a similar type, activity to it, that would be even cooler. And then that goes up to the attic. You want to show them the attic?
Oh, we can save that surprise for later.
Yeah. But what we're going to do right now...
We will show you the door, the mystifying door.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and another claim is people have seen these things here moving, even though no one's been up on the stairs. But as you can see, they're moving now because, the vibrations, us moving around on the floor, have caused them to shake. So we'll just have to keep an eye out on that. So, Chris, do you feel any spiritual presence? Do you feel really anything?
Not really, other than this is, a really nice house.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, geared up to see how the house will be as it, quote unquote, wakes up or, responds to us. But no, I really don't sense anything as of yet. What about you?
Not really. More upstairs towards the back, I feel something. Like I said, when we were doing the walkthrough, I could feel something following us, like it's curious.
Yeah.
Which, if you go into a stranger's house, you're going to be curious. They're going to be curious about who you are, what you want to do, are you trustworthy, that kind of stuff. So spirits are kind of the same because, there are people too. Yeah,
during the initial walkthrough, I thought, well, something looking over my shoulder, but...
As we get back to base camp, one of the things that, intrigued us when we were asked to come out here is the fact that Stonewall Jackson himself allegedly haunts this place. And what was it they asked us to do? They're trying to get the names of Union prisoners that were here.
Yep. Because they got the muster rolls and the lists and all that for the
right.
Confederate soldiers that would be here.
What was the one name? Sammy, I think, was the name of one that got downstairs. There's also a preacher that they've gotten, who the preacher, it's either him or the other one, doesn't have any history to this house whatsoever, but he does have a history to Elkton, and some of his stuff was moved here, and ever since they moved it, they've had his spirit come through.
Right.
So kind of like with, residual activity, they're following the objects that they had direct, physical use with during their lifetime. And then what was it? Dabney was Stonewall Jackson's assistant or aide de camp during the war. Is that the other one that she said?
I missed that one.
Trying to remember. Yeah, because she said there was one of his staff members or something that people have seen here. So I'm going to get hydrated because, high quality H2O. And then we're going to set up our motion detector first. Chris, where do you think we should set this?
I'll say we go into this dining room area in here and do a EVP / ghost box / EMF / motion detecting thing.
I think it's a great idea.
Of course it is. It's fun.
Yeah.